Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel, Orcs and Magic, and it's Jordan here, and boy oh boy do I have a bit of a spicy brew this week. Yes ladies and gentlemen, we are delving into the realms of Modern, and this is a deck that I've been wanting to try out for a while. I've been picking up the pieces here and there, and I'll be quite honest, I'm very tempted to run it at the upcoming GP Birmingham. But depending on which way I go, it's either going to be this or the Goblins. But either way, it involves my favourite colour, which is red, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. So the deck today is a red-white deck, or Boros, as the more experienced players as you know. And this runs around one main combo, which is Soul Warden and Soul Attendant, also more commonly known as Soul Sisters. Basically, the entire aspect of the deck is that you gain life, and you gain life from creatures entering the battlefield. So, how are we going to exploit this benefit to our deck of gaining life? Well, firstly, we need to look at how we're going to trigger creatures entering the battlefield on both our turns. Well, first off, we have a 4-off of Genesis Chamber. Now, Genesis Chamber is a 2-mana artifact, and whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, you get to create a 1/1 Mia. Now, this will also trigger on your opponent's side, so they will get a Mia, but if a Soul Warden's on the battlefield, you do get a life, which is very useful. We also are running 3-off of Norin the Wary. He's a great 1-drop creature who is fantastic. Basically, whenever a player, and this includes you, casts a spell or attacks with a creature, he will exile himself and return at the next end step. Super hard to kill, super annoying, however every time he enters the battlefield he is going to trigger the Genesis Chamber, and he's also going to trigger the Soul Warden, which is fantastic. So because we are using him, two of our main big creatures we are using in this deck is we are using a 4-off of Champion of the Parish, who is a 1/1 for 1 white mana. And basically, whenever a human enters the battlefield under your control, you get to put a 1/1 counter on him. So every time Norin exiles and comes back, you get a +1/+1 counter, which is fantastic. We are also running 2-off of Ajani's Pridemate. Reasons why: whenever we gain life, he actually triggers and gets a 1/1 counter. So in terms of synergies, it is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen, because we have so many ways to gain life in this deck. Now, another benefit of us gaining all this life is that the fact is we can gain life every turn, even including on our opponent's turns. So we have slotted in 2 Crested Sunmares, the new creature, the 5-drop out of Hour of Devastation, which when I saw it, a lot of people were down about it and said it's 5-drop, it's really unplayable, but I saw, oh my god, in Soul Sisters this is amazing, because the horses are indestructible. Fantastic when your opponent goes to board wipe, the horses will initially survive, which is fantastic. Also, the fact that we are gaining life on our opponent's end step is that we get to create another horse, which triggers more life gain, and we get life gain galore for days, which is fantastic. So we can effectively nearly generate horses for days, which is also amazing. Now, we're moving into some of the benefits of running some other creatures, which also will help trigger some end of the battlefield triggers and stuff like that. So we are running 2 Thraben Doomsayers. Reasons why is the fact is that they can tap to create a 1/1 human creature. Reasons why we want to do this is, of course, 1, we can do it on the end step of our opponents to generate life, which also generates us another horse if we have a Crested Sunmare on the field. But not only that, it will also trigger Champion of the Parish, because it is a 1/1 human white creature. But not only that, is that if of course we are gaining life, we can also trigger the Ajani's Pridemate. We also run a 1-off of Purphoros, God of the Forge. Reasons why is that this does damage with creatures entering the battlefield, so this is great with Norin the Wary. It's also great with any of our token creatures that can enter. We then also run 2-off of a Ranger of Eos. Reasons why is that he, when he enters the battlefield, can tutor up 2 target 1-drop creatures. So ideally we'll go get a Soul Warden or a Soul Attendant or a Champion of the Parish, or we can also get Legion Loyalist, which is our 1-off in the deck. Reasons why is that when this attacks along with 2 other creatures, basically your creatures get first strike and trample, which is fantastic and it's what you want to be doing. So basically you want to be setting up the board so you've got some big creatures, he's got blockers, but you can effectively swing for large chunks of damage, which is what you want to be doing. Moving into the spell side of things, we are running a 4 of Lightning Bolt. This is obviously direct damage burn to the face or to creatures. 4 of Path to Exile. We want this mainly to be removing creatures from the board. We can even be removing some of our own tokens to fix our mana if we need to do it. And then we have 2 Return to the Ranks. Reasons why is that this can obviously go get creatures that have been removed from the board state to go get them out of the graveyard back onto the battlefield, so triggering more life, more human interaction, various things like that. That's what we want to be doing going forward. Moving on to the lands, basically we are running a 4 of Sacred Foundry and 4 of a Battlefield Forge. We do not mind paying the life because this deck generates life so well. And then we just have a 6 off of Mountains and 6 off of Plains, again just even splits. And we run a single Westvale Abbey. Because we are generating so many token creatures, we might as well sacrifice them, getting some major damage with a big 9-drop flyer, which is effectively going to do lots of large chunks of damage, and it has to be answered to, quite frankly. Moving on to the sideboard, in the current sort of meta, because of course we are coming up to GP Birmingham, and I've been sort of focusing on the meta and what's coming up. We are running a 3 off of Crumble to Dust. This is mainly to go up against Tron and other sort of big wide mana based decks where they need fixing. 2 Leyline of Sanctity. This is quite obviously to go against Burn and various other things like that. We run a 3 off of Smash to Smithereens. This is to go against Affinity and any other artifact heavy decks to destroy them and also do damage to the opponent. We then have 1 Silence. This is mainly to go up against Storm, because Baral Storm is a thing these days and it is still affecting the state quite nicely. So this, if you sort of know your opponent's been building up to having the turn, you can cast this on their turn so they can't do it, and it gives you another chance. We run a 1 off for Stony Silence. This is to shut down quite a few Affinity decks, as well as Lantern Control, which is a hate deck, as many people know from me. We then also run 2 off of Make a Stand. This is to give our creatures indestructible. We want to be sort of trying to avoid board wipes as much as possible. In the modern, there are a lot of cheap board wipes and you want to be getting around them. We then have 2 Rest in Peace. Reasons for this is obviously to go up against any graveyard strategy decks, or even against Storm itself, because they want things in the graveyard. And finally, we have 1 off of Brave the Elements. Reasons why is that this can give us protection from a mass board wipe, and it's also very cheap and efficient. So that has been our weekly deck tech for the channel, which is Red White Soul Sisters. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and please leave a comments below of anything you think I need to improve upon the deck. Please also make sure you've hit the subscribe button. We are doing lots of videos, and it's also useful to keep in touch. There is a giveaway coming up for our 200 subscribers. I just haven't gotten around to filming it yet, and I promise it will be up before we go to GP Birmingham. Mainly because if I go to GP Birmingham, I'll pick up lots of extra things that I want to give away, so I need to get rid of a bit of the prize shelf anyway. So this has been Jordan here from Orcshead Magic, signing off. Catch you later. Thank you for watching the video. Please remember to hit that like button, it supports the channel for free. Also subscribe, and remember, if you don't want to miss any videos, hit the bell icon right next to the subscribe button. Thank you for watching again. Goodbye.